Hello again, welcome back to Math Maria. Here we are again with another video, and today I'm going to share what is the first mistake that made me aware of my finances. I'm finally going to share that with you. And so in here, you're going to see two things. One of the things is that you're going to hear about the first mistake that I made, and that's the one that made me realize, oh, I need to get a hang of my finances. I need to make sure that I don't make this mistake. And I'm sharing that so that you don't make the same mistake. Now, this is not the first step that I recommend. The first step that I recommend you doing is making a budget, making sure that you know where your money is going, how much you have to spend. This step is also very important for your finance. Learn about what mistake I made and how you can avoid making it. The first mistake that I made was in 2018, and the reason for which I made that mistake is because back then we were supposed to send our payments through mail. They were starting already with bill pay and sending automated payments, but it was not as popular as it is right now. And so what happens? What happened is that I forgot to make my payment on time. And so I had an interest rate in one of my credit cards. I don't even remember which one it was, but I had a payment and it was 14.99%, I think. And then just because I sent a late payment, my credit score went down. They sent a 35 fee for sending a late payment. But the worst part was that on the rest of the balance that I had on that credit card, the interest rate went up to 24.99. That meant that I had to pay more money, more interest to those to the lender. I don't remember again which one it was, but I got so upset with myself for sending that payment late. I could not believe it. To avoid having that happen to me again, what I decided to do is to write the names of all the credit cards and all the important payments, and even the ones that are not. I mean, if you don't pay PG&E, they will send you also a late fee, but it will not affect you with your interest or with your credit score or with only the payment is the one that you making here. So this is a little easier. Still, I include those in here so that I make sure that I send my payments on time. Why? Because I don't want to throw away my money with the late fees, right? Whatever you do, you're trying to keep as much of your money. You don't want to pay interest. You don't want to pay late fees. You don't want to, because that's money that you could be using on your family, on things that you really need for your basic needs. And so that's why I'm creating this video so that you can be more informed. Again, one of the things that I recommend is that you put it in order. That was the first time that I created in 2018. I created my list. It's not in order. That's the worst part. But what I recommend is that I don't know how you receive your income, but for me, I get paid every 15 and every 30 of the month. And so, for example, in here, when I get my paycheck on February 15, what I start doing is I start paying that like within those 3 days, 15, 16, or 17, depending on my time. But I start paying the ones for March. So I'm going to be like 15 to 20 days ahead. So I'm going to be paying the ones for March 1st, because I put the dates in here, March 6th, March 4th. So that's just an idea. That way you're ahead of the game. You don't fall behind with your payments. You see, and I look at my payments. I do this twice a month. It's right after I get my paycheck on the 15th and right after I get my paycheck on the 30th of each month. But again, when I get the one for the 15th, February 15th, I'm paying the ones for the beginning of March, the first 2 weeks of March. And then I get my payment on February 30th. Now I'm paying the ones that are for March 15th to March 30th. And I'll cover all of them for that month. Now here, sometimes you have a cross is because I probably finished paying that credit card, or maybe I didn't buy anything on that month. And in reality, what I'm trying to do in here, what I tried to do, I had so many accounts opened that I decided to close little by little. And you want to end up with 3 credit cards only. There is another video in my finances where you can find how to manage your credit and how to grow your credit score. And in there I share how I use those 3 credit cards. And so this is my list for 2018. Again, it's messy, it's all over the place, because that's when I was starting to realize that my finances were in big trouble. Then here is for 2019, and if you notice, I'm scratching out some of them, because what we want to do is reduce the number of credit cards so that it's more manageable. There is another video where you can learn how to manage your credit cards, how many are the number that are it's appropriate. And so for 2020, I cannot show you the entire thing because there is personal information that I don't want to share. But notice how in here I started to realize that to put it in order is going to be a lot more helpful. And then at the beginning of when I receive my paycheck on the 15th, I send the payments of the next month for up to this right here. So these ones get the payment on the middle of the month. So if I get my paycheck on January 15th, then I start paying for those for the month of February, and I start making my check mark. Then I get my next payment on the 30th of January, and I can make the payment of February of, so I'm like 15 days ahead of the game. I'm 15 to 20 days ahead of the game, and that way I make sure that I don't forget to make the payments. I make sure that I don't get a late payment, that my interest gets raised, and that my credit score goes lower. I added another credit card towards the end of that year, but at the same time, from there on, I was starting to not use this credit card anymore, and so it kind of balanced. I eliminated one and added one, but eventually I paid it off, and I don't have that one anymore. So in here, with 2021, again, it's more organized, it's a lot cleaner, and it's because I've learned to really work with my payments and making sure that I don't throw away my money. In here, we use this one. I have this credit card, and my daughter went to college, and I had to buy a laptop for her. They allow me to pay it in 6 installments with no interest, and so making sure that I wouldn't throw my money away. But I decided, you know what, I can pay it off, and I just did it in 3 payments. Again, we're trying to save money. We're trying to not pay interest. We're trying to, instead of paying interest, making sure that I get cash back. Okay, really knowing how to manage our money. And finally here, we have 2022. If you notice, I paid off that towards the end or the middle of the year. I finished paying that one it was like something for myself. And if you notice, after that one, I only have 4 credit cards. This is for an emergency that I had. I'm making sure that I don't pay interest on that one. And so these are the other ones that I talk about in my other videos about how to manage your credit, how to use it, where to use it, and how to make sure that you don't pay interest, instead get cash back. If you want to check out those videos, you can see the links at the end of this video and get better with your finances. Creating the checklist for 2023. If you notice, I always end up doing the same thing. Today is February 17, and I'm going to start paying the bills for March, the beginning of March. And so guess what? I haven't done my list, my checklist. So I'm going to create that and see other videos. And make sure that you start working on your finances. Check those videos and see how and what you can do. If you're in debt, you need to check them out. If you're not in debt, but you want your money to work for you, in the future, I'm going to be creating more videos related to where to put your money if you have a little extra each month. Okay. And we don't have a lot extra, but we have a couple of dollars that we can actually save, and we're making money work for us, not us work for money. That's the saying I heard from one of presenter. I heard before. And so let's get to it. Vamos a comenzar. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with the months on top. And I'm going to start on March because you saw that I already have February over there. So and on this side, we're going to put the bills in order from date.